Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. What exactly was Brooke telling Finn to do, right? She comes over there, and at first she's like, you need to forget about the kiss. You need to forget about it, you need to move on, you don't need to sit there and let this disturb your life. And Finn was like, I'm at work. Okay, you came over here so that they're bringing it up. What do you think that I'm trying to do? So, like, you're not helping by bringing this up. And Brooke brings up the threat. If Hope crosses the line, Hope looks at him sideways or whatever, the line is done. So she's like, you need to sit there and talk to your wife. Talk to her and say what exactly? What, keep the peace or whatever? Like, I don't understand. I mean, the thing is, I get that Brooke wants to support her daughter, right? She feels that Steffi is coming at her unjustly, which is BS, by the way, but I'm trying to get into the mind frame of Brooke in a sense. But, like, my whole thing is, like, she keeps saying that Steffi is going to do something to upend Hope's life or whatever in her line and everything. But I'm like, your daughter brung this on herself, right? So what, you want him to go over there and try to smooth things over? Like, and then you just assume that Hope is just going to be like, oh, okay, I'll just sit there and just back off and leave him alone. Because if that was the case, then we wouldn't be in this position in the first place. So why is it Finn's job to smooth over things for your wife's, for your daughter's inappropriate behavior? You're basically sitting there saying that, you know what, I want you in the middle of this. Don't you want peace? Yeah, he wants peace, but you know what, at the end of the day, it's your daughter's issue. As long as she doesn't cross that line, we're not going to have a problem. But, like, it's just somewhat irritating to sit there and watch because it's like it's not his job to sit there and try to smooth things over for your daughter's erratic and inappropriate behavior. Now, not Taylor, Steffi and Liam are talking about Hope. And, you know, I guess Liam Smith, they're trying to give Hope the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't understand. It's not like she just sets out to be a homewrecker and stuff. So I don't really understand his behavior. Now, Steffi's like, oh, I got one word for you, Logan. And I'm like, okay. It's a little irritating when she keeps saying that because it's just basically meant to say, well, because you're a Logan, you're automatically bad. Because you're a Logan, you're automatically evil. And it's there's a little bit more to it. There's a little more nuance to it than that. And this is what she and Taylor said, and it made sense. It's her learned behavior. It's not her DNA. It's her learned behavior and her upbringing of watching Brooke pretty much be a homewrecker for like what, 3 decades or whatever. I'm assuming Hope is like in her 30s, mid 30s, early 40s or whatever. So it's like 3 or 4 decades of watching this woman tear families apart. So as annoying as even when Taylor was like, I've seen this in my practice, like, okay, we get it, Taylor. You're a psychiatrist. But I do understand learned behavior though. And even Liam was like, listen, I'll talk to her. If nothing else but for Beth or whatever, just to kind of smooth things over. And then of course Finn got in there and Liam thanked him and he was like, oh, okay. But then after a while, I was like, I still remember when he called him a little puke. So that's pretty much where their relationship is at at that point. And Finn did bring up, like, yeah, Brooke was there and she was there telling me about the threat that you said. And Stephanie was like, I'm not going to apologize for that. I said what I said as a boundary, and she needs to sit and respect that. Not just, not just as an employee, as respect for her marriage, her family. That should be the real thing, not so much, oh, you're going to lose your job or whatever. It's more than that. By the way, somebody said in the comment section about Hope's filling line, and that Steffi should bring Thomas back. Well, see, there's problems with that, right? And it's mainly because it's Thomas that chose to leave. You can sit there and say, well, Steffi put the idea in his head, but ultimately, he chose to leave. He didn't want to sit there and work with her. He didn't want to be in the same town as her. So how is Steffi supposed to bring back a man who doesn't want to come back? So when that person said that it was Steffi that drove, um, Hope for the Future isn't doing well because of Thomas left, then common sense would sit there and say you should bring him back. That's not how that works. Steffi doesn't have snap her fingers powers and he just runs right on back. He chose to leave. He doesn't want to come back. So I don't think it's as easy as just bringing him back. How about you just cut the goddamn line and save the company some money? That would make a lot more sense than just bringing him back, because that's not how that works. He would actually have to choose to come back, and right now he doesn't want to. He likes his life out there. He likes his life with Paris and Douglas. So why would he sit there and come back to work with a woman he doesn't want to be around? I know that just seems like the very simple and quick answer, but it's not a quick and simple solution. And then there's Taylor that's still talking to Ridge after talking to Eric. Just about how happy he is that Taylor's back. That's the point of that conversation. But there's a point where she says that I saw you in Brooke and Monte Carlo or whatever. Like, I saw you in person. And my whole thing is like, Ridge is like, he's being all super excited. I'm like, that's some creepy shit right there. You sit there saying that you saw him and her and you didn't bother to say anything. You just watched him from a distance like a creep. You didn't say anything when you got back to town. Like, I feel like the struggle is real to be a Taylor fan. It must be, because I saw in the previews that she said that she couldn't get over Ridge. First of all, I'm going to sit there and say something that some people aren't going to like. That is probably some of the most pathetic shit I've ever heard in my entire life. There is 2.3 billion people on this planet, and you're sitting there saying that you couldn't get over one person? Really? Ridge is just the king of all men now? Or is she just that pathetic? Because I'm going to go with answer B. Or P if you want to sit there, whatever. But the point is, it's like, really? This is what it comes down to? Now, as I was watching, I was sitting there thinking, as much as she's chastising Hope for her inappropriateness and everything, which is 100% spot on, is she going to sit there and try to make a play for Ridge? And then what does that make her? You want to chastise her for being a Logan and doing stuff inappropriate, but you're going to sit there and target somebody who's already in a relationship? That doesn't exactly make you that much better. And this is something that has been, I don't know why I didn't sit there and see this, but one of my subscribers named Eagle Fang brought this up, and how many times they sit there and talk about how Steffi is such this badass. Oh, I'm still so worried about her. What do you mean you're worried about her? She's fine, and Luna's behind bars. She's good. What are you worried about? You were worried about her marriage? She can handle Hope. She can handle Hope. Honestly, tell you the truth, I think people need to be more worried about you. You're sitting there creeping around and you're watching and looking at Ridge and Brooke from a distance like some damn creep. I just want to remind the class real quick that if you know what, I'm not even gonna go there because I think we all know where I'm gonna go. But anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. That's the only things I could sit there and think of now. That's the most poignant or whatever of this episode. Now, if I missed anything, you know what to do. Write it down in the comment section below, or better yet, come to the live stream tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows. Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives. And I'm also sitting there thinking about doing something new, right? Because as much as I love to sit there and do reviews in all four, there's just times where it's not practical. Either because I don't want to rush things. So I'm off to them. So I can actually take my time, and I feel like there's a difference when I can actually just talk about this stuff and not feel like, well, it's 9 o'clock, you gotta sit there and put it out. I'm not doing that. I'm also sitting there thinking about if it's really late. Yeah, if it's really late, I'm wondering if I should put it out. Like even 9 o'clock. Like I think it was 10 o'clock. But if it's a little bit earlier, I'll put it out. But if it's like after like 6 or whatever or 7, I don't know if I'm actually gonna put it out because I don't know if people are actually gonna sit there and watch it. So that's a couple of things. But more importantly, while maybe just doing a poll for members, and each week, besides General Hospital, what other show would you like me to review out of the other three? And I'll try to do that weekly for members, and they can sit there and decide what other show I'm going to sit there and review. So I'm thinking about that as well, because doing all four is fun. I really enjoy it, but I actually have to have time to do it right. Because I'm not just going to just put something out just to put it out. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got. But come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we'll talk about all of them, all the shows, including this one. And I'll see you in the next video.